Hello everyone, my name's David. I really should just stop saying that. Welcome to another interview at CitizenCon, because apparently it's insane here. We now have...
Bob Rissolo.
So, just before we begin, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
I am the dialogue supervisor, or a specialist dialogue guy. I handle the dialogue.
So mainly Squadron 42 focused?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so writing...
But pretty much everything, actually.
Okay. So mainly like writing the dialogue or doing the audio stuff?
Oh, no, that was Mr. Dave Haddock.
So
He's the writer. I do everything after that.
So... audio recording.
Well, yeah, I'm part of the production, and make sure that we meet all the technical needs for dialogue. So after that, we go into editing and we mix and master, process the dialogue.
Do you want to switch places? Because you've probably got more experience with this than I do.
I'll just listen very closely.
Yeah, just what have you been working on recently?
Well. Yes. Yeah, we've been hard at work. It's been a big crunch, the last couple of weeks, just getting everything to really, get the fine polish and just share with the world, with all of our fans, all the awesome stuff we've been doing.
So do you think we'll be impressed?
I think you guys will definitely be very excited and happy with what Chris has in store for this game. I mean, I'm impressed.
Okay.
I'm happy. I've had a lot of fun these past few months. Let me tell you, it's been a wonderful ride, and I'm looking forward to continuing on this amazing roller coaster.
Awesome. So when did you start at CIG?
I started actually back in March.
March, okay.
Yeah. And I started with the LA office and flew out for the production in London.
Yeah.
And then been up in Manchester ever since.
Oh, so how do you like it up here?
Oh, I love it. I love Manchester. Manchester is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's I know everyone keeps telling me, why are you in Manchester? You're from San Diego, or you're from LA, from California. What are you doing over here? There's beautiful weather over there. Well, if I don't know, for all the fans that probably know California, it is quite beautiful, but you can get kind of bored of the beautiful weather after being there for most of your life. Life's too short. The world's huge. Let's have some fun and explore. So, was that?
And go somewhere with snow.
Yeah, exactly. I have seasons. It's like there's fall outside. It's beautiful.
Okay, so you know what? Let's talk about what kind of stuff do you use for the recording and editing and stuff that you do? Like, how much of it is actually you doing recording and editing? Did you do the vocal recording for?
I do vocal recording. We actually had aside from Side UK, did a lot of the production recording at Imaginarium, and They were wonderful. It was quite nice to have them, And so, but I do that as well, and
okay.
We use wonderful mics. We have wonderful preamps, and then wonderful actors. It's, the space. Imaginarium is a beautiful place, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of planes that fly over from Heathrow at that place, and part of my job will be to fix a lot of that audio. So it's going to be kind of fun. We have a lot of the great tools of the trade to get the assets, to treat them, plugins and spectral analysis. We actually clean out the waveforms and make them sound as beautiful and as nice as we can, so that the actors sound the best that they can, and it can be enjoyed in the game.
I know a very, very small bit of what goes on in that, because Mr. White here does edit our podcast every week. What kind of what programs do you use for general editing? And
editing there's Pro Tools, there's Reaper, there's SoundForge. People use them for different purposes and different parts of the workflow. I personally have been using Pro Tools a lot, just simply because we have a lot of facial capture with the audio, and time code is very important. So I'm editing in Pro Tools so that I can keep the time code consistent with the facial animation, so that it's easy for us to sync in Engine. So I'm using that tool, and then I use a lot of EQ and compression is just very typical, and then you have I like to use Isotope RX Advanced for the spectral repair that I was talking about, and it really does work wonders. It's an amazing tool, and it's quite fun to you have all these like footsteps and all these bunks and knocks and things, and you just like take that out. So the Velcro, especially. Oh my goodness, the Velcro and those mocap suits. Oh, that's so fun to get that out. But yeah, I mean it's and then of course you have convolution reverbs so that you can replicate space. What we like to do is we like to take the reverbs and kind of use bespoke reverbs for different spaces and actually get them in the engine so that we can still have dry assets, but then have the engine recreate the reverbs to have the have the engine do a lot of the occlusion, have all the distance and all that kind of stuff be done in engine. So most of my work is pretty dry. It's mostly just making it sound as good as I can and levels consistent. And then we do a lot of things in engine. So I still designed for that as well. But most days it was actually pretty good. We were able to get a good clean take at one point, at some point. But there was one day, I remember one day where there was a plane literally every 5 minutes there was a plane. And it was like around 5 p.m. and we're just like, okay, call it, we're done. There's not much we can do. We can't get a clean take. So that was one day out of 60 days. One day, it's not so bad, right?
It could be worse, yeah.
Could be worse.
In that day's case, was it possible to do ADR?
Well, we do have ADR as always a backup. That's always a backup plan. And we actually are doing a very special kind of ADR because, again, as we have facial and audio together, we actually recapture the facial. So when we go into a vocal booth, we have them wear the head cams as well. So we're capturing the face again. And as well as just keeping with the same mics, keeping it the same everything. It's just all consistent. It's just now in a vocal booth and we're just capturing face and audio, no longer body. But when you're doing with speech, face and the audio they go hand in hand. Of course, body movements are quite important as well. But when you're doing ADR, it's you're already performing to a body animation that should generally be in the right sense.
And that can be fixed up too a little bit.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Let's talk about Star Citizen itself.
Sure.
Are you a fan?
Well, I'm a fan now, to be honest. I mean, the game industry is quite big. There's a lot going on in the world. And when I first got the job, the company is still quite young. Yeah. So when I got the job posting, I had no idea. And when I was starting to read about it, I'm like, this is really awesome. I mean, I'm a huge sci-fi fan. I love space exploration. I mean, this is my jam. I love the Cosmos by Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
Yes. And the new one's pretty good too. Of course, he's the guy that also called Pluto not a planet. But
we can forgive him for that.
Yeah, it's a Kuiper Belt object. Everyone, sorry, a large one, dwarf planet, whatever. But so I learned a lot about it just kind of from the job posting, and I really fell in love with the project. I'm really excited to be working on it, and I think what's probably the biggest thing for me, especially coming from a dialogue point of view, I love Squadron 42. I love the story. The cast, like I'm just getting chills right now just thinking about what's to come. So I mean, it's big, it's huge, I've worked in the game industry for 10, 15 years, and I've never had a game with this stellar cast.
Really?
I mean, it's huge, and it's wonderful to be able to be a part of it. It really is.
How's the last few weeks been with regards to crunch and stuff?
It's the industry. It's like every other crunch. You work really, really hard, and things start to come together, and you go, ooh. That's beautiful. Because it's the game industry. I mean, there's a lot of iteration that happens that the fans don't see, and that's what I love about this company too. Is we're sharing a little bit more of that. So what you'll see today, our work is always just an iteration of what we're going to keep getting better. Yeah. It just keeps getting better.
It's not the absolute top, but it's one step up each time.
But usually when you see things at this point, it's way towards the end for any game company, and we as a game company are sharing with our backers the game process and how we go from beginning to end, and to involve them along that way so that they actually do have an impact. I mean, most games when you play like a beta towards the end of the life cycle, it's you don't really change much. You just kind of work out the last bugs for them, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for all of our backers and fans that play on our the beta or the persistent universe, and they get to test the game. It's testing the game so far forward that they actually have an impact.
Yeah.
You know, so it's I really love that about being a developer. I really love that about our companies.
Awesome. So, like, community is a big part of Star Citizen and CIG and everything. What can the community do to help you?
I mean, the biggest thing about community is being a fan. I mean, being a fan of anything just shows support and shows that you care about it and you believe in it. And when you see a community like this come to this event, and as I'm walking up, I'm seeing a huge line of people just around the block, and I'm like, this is beautiful. These people come here because they believe in the product just as much as we as the developers do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's an amazing feeling. And you know, for any developer or any musician or any filmmaker, you know, for any artist to have a fan base like that that's why people are entertainers. That's why people are artists and musicians, because they you know, the art is for the people. The game is for the people. We don't make it for ourselves, even though it is fun. It is fun to play. It is fun to make games. But we make it for the community. And for the community to show that support is just amazing. It's a blessing to be a part of that.
Well, thank you so much for everything you do, and I can't wait to later see some of your work, hopefully.
You will.
Thank you so much.
Have fun.